Hello, and welcome to episode 196 of the Casual Try Hard podcast. I'm
And
Brian,
I'm James.
and today we are talking about all the things we missed because someone went on vacation.
Holy moly, it seems like this happens every time. I go away for a couple days and all of Magic implodes. There were so many announcements and drama and
All kinds of stuff.
unexpected everything. So we're going to give some thoughts and likely not get through it all, and you guys will get to listen to more of this next week.
Yeah, so if you have ideas of things you want us to rant about or stuff like that, all of our social media links in the description below, so you can reach out to us and be like, hey, you forgot this.
Oh, I'm sure there's stuff I forgot. I was adding more when I got home from work today. I remembered more when we were doing our pre-show that didn't get added. So much that we missed. So if, like Brian said, there's something that you want to hear us rant about, remind us. That way we can rant about it. If you're looking to support the show, there's two ways you can do that. Our TCG player affiliate link, tcg.casualtryhardmtg.com. Follow that link, and anything you purchase will help to support the show. We'll get a little cut of that and helps to pay all our fees and keep the show going. If you guys want to support us more directly, patreon.com/casualtryhardmtg is where you can do that. If you like what we do and you want us to continue what we're doing, and get access to the Patreon perks, head on over there, chip a couple bucks in. You'll get access to our pre-show that I just mentioned. You get access to our show notes, so you get a sneak peek of what we're going to be talking about the coming episode. And then you also get put on my mailing list, which I have to do coming up. I have the next round of givebacks ready. I'll probably have to do that either this weekend or next, so I better make a note of that to myself, that those will be coming out. If you want to get in on that, sign up for our Patreon. Like I said, chip a couple bucks in. Make sure I get your address. There's still some of our patrons I don't have addresses for, despite bugging them what I think is consistently. So if you want to get put on my mailing list, make sure I have your mailing address. And chip a couple bucks in patreon.com/casualtryhardmtg. And then we also have our YouTube channel. Brian's been posting his draft videos there. We're going to try and do a little bit more this coming set release, so make sure you like and subscribe to us over on YouTube, CasualTryHardMTG over there. You also get to watch video versions of the podcast if you want to look at us while we talk at you. Sometimes there's visual aids too, but most of the time it's just looking at us.
And I mean, we're handsome men, so they should want to look at us.
Yeah.
So you have a beard that people remember for years.
That is correct. People remember my beard.
Yeah, so.
Yep.
And people remember that I don't have one. They're like, oh, look at little baby. Look at little baby.
Did I tell you about when Hannah sent me a message?
Oh, about like
about
my
caricature
thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was cute.
Yeah. Yeah, I have it. It's hanging up on the wall. It's me as Naruto holding Gavin as Boruto.
She sent me a message and wanted to know if you would be okay with the stubble. I said, I'm pretty sure it'll be fine with the stubble.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So we've got a whole bunch of stuff here.
Yeah.
So what is our first thing we have to talk about here?
Well,
all right, there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to start with Wizards produces literally one product. Well, sorry, two. They make cards and they make books.
Well, they also make digital versions of cards.
Fair. But in terms of physical things, they make two physical things.
Right.
And they can't seem to make cards.
Yeah, you'd think with 30 years of experience, they would have figured out how to produce a Magic the Gathering card.
They have not.
No.
Apparently, the Warhammer 40k decks are just a nightmare.
Yeah, all of them. It doesn't matter if it's the special $1,000 collector ones or just the $60 regular ones. There are major quality issues with all of them from what I've heard.
I've seen things. I saw someone post that like their deck was like 4 ofs of every card except for like 3. that were like 1-ofs, but it was just like all the new cards as 4-ofs.
Yep. I've seen multiple instances of cards just missing from decks, to the point where I think Wizards released like a statement saying that in 1 or 2 of the decks, you have to look in the tokens because one of the cards somehow got like allocated in the tokens instead of in like the actual deck, which I don't even know how that happens because they're printed on different card stock.
Yeah, how would that like?
I have no idea.
You just have a token with a magic back that feels off.
I don't know.
So, I am not a business wizard, but if the only thing I did was made cards and books,
Mm-hmm.
and then electronic versions of those cards and those books, it's sometime in the 30 years, I feel like I would have just invested in like my own printing operation.
So you can print whatever you want, whenever you want?
Yeah, so like I have like complete and total control over the quality.
Yeah.
And stuff. And it seems like that over the years, like Wizards has, I don't know, just like put up Craigslist ads, and whoever said they would do it for the least amount,
Mm-hmm.
like gets to print their cards.
Yep.
And it's like you sell a collectible thing, and like part of its collectability is it has to be like durable and last to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're sending people not durable things.
Yeah.
And like I don't know how like it works with you know, again, also not a legal wizard, but hey, here is a list of what you get in the box.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get the box and it doesn't have those things in the box. How does that, like, I know that false advertising is a thing. Is it not false advertising if you didn't mean to put the wrong thing in the box?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Right? But like you would think that if like they were like, this is what's in the box, and you just got a box of all like New Capenna planes,
Mhm.
that like you could like complain to a higher power than Wizards.
At some
Like,
point.
hey, I was told I was buying this thing and I got not that thing.
Right.
I bought 6 of them. They were all not the thing I was supposed to get.
Well, I mean, that's like a whole nother problem, though, because if you're buying 6 commander decks, you're not going to use all 6 commander decks. Like, I would imagine some of those commander decks you're going to keep sealed on the shelf. So
and you don't, yeah,
when
and
you go
don't
to
know what you
move
have
said
on your
commander
shelf.
deck for, hopefully, you know, you made some money on it, the price of it increased, so you made a good investment, and then moved said commander deck for, a couple $100, like conservatively. I mean, some of them are a lot
Yeah.
more than that. Only to have whoever you sold it to open it up and it be full of New Capenna planes.
Yeah, and they're like, what the hell? Why did you sell me a bunch of planes? And you're like, no. Like,
Yeah.
I bought it.
Factory sealed.
Factory. I did not buy a bunch of New Capenna planes to sell you a bunch of New Capenna planes.
Right.
I bought this product. So yeah, I don't know. Like, this has happened so like once or twice a year. They just have a product that is just utter garbage.
Right.
Like every time. So like, how do you keep doing this? Like, I've been fortunate that I haven't got one of those. Like, I think we've all. Oh gosh, was it?
So do you remember Jumpstart, where like all of the cards were double printed?
Oh yeah, where they were like printed on top of each other, or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, do you remember? Like the first time we really noticed this was Kaladesh / like Aether Revolt. Remember when you'd be going through a pack and there'd just be a card where like the printer ran out of toner?
Oh yeah.
And it would be like 4 shades lighter
Yeah.
than like every other card in the pack.
Or darker.
And
There was I think I opened a Concealed Courtyard that looked like somebody spilled a bottle of ink on it. Like all of the blacks just like bled into every other color.
And like when it's like a one-off like, draft common, it's like, haha, that's funny.
Yeah.
But like, if I spent $1,000 on like fancy foil Warhammer decks,
Mhm.
like Wizards should like, and Wizards came and like realistically make people whole,
Right.
right? Unless they like fire up the printing press again, because the packs Wizards have that are sealed might be bad as well,
Mhm.
right? Because like normally it would just like go onto the shelf and grab like a new like deck and send it to you,
Right.
right? And they go grab that thing and it's like from the same messed up print run as yours,
Mhm.
and we've accomplished nothing.
Yep.
So like I don't.
It's not just like printing issues or collation issues either. Like I saw posts from multiple people where like not only were the cards not cut right, like top to bottom, they weren't centered properly, like you'd have
Mhm.
the tops of cards getting cut off or whatever, but I also saw cards that were like skewed, so the card was like at an angle on like how the card was supposed to be.
Like this, like I haven't opened any of my secret layers, but I'd be interested to see how our heads you win, tails you lose,
Yeah.
uh, or heads I win, tails you lose, commander deck is,
Well, so
because
that
like,
was kind of where I was going with this whole little section here. um I imagine that the reason why the secret lair commander deck got pushed back as far as it did was because it's a very similar product to the Warhammer decks.
mhm.
Not only are they just, commander decks, which get printed different than booster packs, but they also have, foils and alternate borders, arts, whatever that got to be done, like printing wise, they're done differently.
Yeah.
And like the heads I win, tails you lose ones, some of those are double sided with like different versions of the cards on both sides. There's like some extra steps in the printing of them. So I wonder if some of these issues that we're seeing with the commander decks are what caused the secret lair commander decks to get pushed back.
So one, it would be a travesty if WotC knew that there were printing issues and just YOLO'd the 40K decks out anyway. Right? Like,
I mean, it
oh
wouldn't
man,
surprise me.
all these heads I win, tails you lose decks are messed up.
Yeah.
I guess we got to reprint them. And then at the same time, they have the same doofs printing the Warhammer decks, and like no one did quality control and opened some boxes.
Yeah.
Right? Like, wouldn't it be hilarious if like in one of the like, weekly MTG videos where they're showing off the new product live or whatever, they're just like going through and going like, well, here's this play set of
Yeah.
guy, and oh, here's another play set of this other rare.
Yeah, these
This
commander
is
decks
really
have
weird.
4 of Zender split.
Yeah. Oh, let me go get another one. This one's just weird. Like,
Yeah.
it was probably just like early off the thing, and then the next one's messed up.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
There's
but what
also
was
like these Warhammer decks. I've also seen entire decks missing the hollow stamp,
Oh,
and I've seen decks where the hollow stamp, like they were in a pile at the bottom of the product because they didn't stick to the card stock.
dear God.
Yeah.
I saw a little bit of stuff, like just the one about like being all 4 ofs. I hadn't seen all of that.
Yeah.
Like that's like, you literally do one thing. There's one thing
Yeah.
in your entire company, Hasbro, that makes money.
Yeah.
And it's not Optimus Prime.
Well, so here's like a different perspective. How pissed would you be if you are misprint guy?
Oh yeah, and every card's a misprint.
And now every card is just like, you're the guy that always pays a premium for like, that weird cut foil common or whatever, or the rare that's got 2 square corners on it. Like, you're the guy that's going to give someone an extra $5 or $10 for it. And now, like,
Now,
every card is just printed so terribly. Like, what even constitutes a misprint anymore?
a card that looks normal.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you find a Warhammer 40k deck that, like, all the holo stamps are on it and all the cards are centered, that thing's worth like $5,000. Like, there's just like, holy crap, they're all regular cards.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, but it's just wild that, like, the quality is. What was it? There was another commander deck that had like 2 of the same common land.
Oh,
recently.
yeah.
So, like, it was supposed to have like
A Great Furnace
rugged highland
or something.
Yeah, but like it was supposed to have like a great furnace and a mountain, or a great furnace and like
Well, I think it
the
was Great
cycling
Furnace and
land.
Rugged Highland.
Okay, and like you just got 2 rugged highlands.
You get 2 Rugged Highlands because they didn't, whatever the print file didn't have the Great Furnace in it.
Like, this is all like first like 2 years of Magic stuff.
Yeah.
Right. This is oops, we forgot to put plateau on the sheet.
Yeah.
Oops, we put mountain on the Arabian Night sheet.
Or Volcanic Island too. There was no Volcanic Island in Alpha.
Or oh man, we lost the art file for plateau.
Yeah.
We have to get a new plateau art. Right? Like, that stuff's not supposed to happen. It can happen once every couple years.
Not every
But not-
set.
Yeah, but not once every couple set releases when you release like 45 sets a year.
Yeah.
You can't have 20 just like disasters.
Right.
And like, how much of this is like, we've talked about it on the R&D side, where they're like, hey, we're going to release 45 products a year. We're going to have the same number of people doing R&D. Nothing can go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And then how much of this is like, hey, we're going to release 45 products a year. We're going to have the same number of people doing like typeset
Right.
and editing and proofing of things.
Yep. Card layout, whatever.
Yeah, like whatever this is, like, it's just like, Mike, hey, Mike, you got to look at 45 card files to make sure they're perfect a year instead of 7.
Yeah.
Oh, so how much time? I used to spend like 3 weeks a card file. Yeah, you get 3 days. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Get out the shackles. You're not leaving.
Exactly. Bezos bottles for everyone. But like, yeah, like how much of this is like they've like quintupled the workload, maybe doubled the number of people, if that.
Right.
And it's just like, oh, I can't keep up. And it's like, you have to.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay. So I guess I forgot to put the Great Furnace on the sheet. Oh. I guess I forgot to tell them to put like glue on all these holo stickers.
Make sure the sheets were straight before you cut them.
I can understand maybe how a sheet could get shifted a little bit forward or a little bit back or left to right. But the one you're saying that we're like at an angle?
Yeah.
I assume this comes off some sort of on some sort of conveyor belt and goes to a thing where it's held in place and like there's not room for it to be at a 45-degree angle or whatever. How did it even get in there to be cut?
I have no idea. Do not know how that happened. I mean, it wasn't like super extreme. Like you see the where the NFCs, the not factory cut cards, people they'll get a sheet and then like purposely cut it at an angle.
Yeah,
they weren't like that exaggerated, but I mean they were visibly like skewed on the cardboard.
Yeah, like it. I don't know. It is disappointing that like someone who makes a collectible card game is just like, none of this stuff needs to be good ever.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
these
I mean,
idiots will all pre-order it.
it's not only the fact that like all the idiots pre-order it or that, whatever. It's how much of it is that like they're shifting the center of attention so fast. Like by the time people are complaining about Warhammer decks, like we got, 2 weeks worth of announcements in 2 days.
I mean, people are complaining about Warhammer decks, but did you know
That there were
that,
like 30 secret layers announced today?
yes, I just went to the Secret Lair site just because.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And hey, do you want some Post Malone? Do you want a Post Malone's a Post Citadel?
Yeah. Did you
Instead
see
of
the
Volus
lands that
Citadel?
have like little scribbles in the text box instead of
Yeah,
mana
they're
symbols?
like basically like tattoos.
Yeah, like prison
Uh,
tattoos.
yeah, Post
No
Malone
offense,
tattoos.
Posty. I'm sure you tried hard, but
Uh, but just like, yeah, these are just he just drew on the cards.
Yeah.
And they were like, score, in, done,
suckers will buy these.
no problem, no problem.
Yeah.
And then like we've got Secret Layer Orcs. Yeah, but like there's all these cards that are like they just like happen like all of a sudden because these weren't here like last week.
No,
Maybe
the
maybe I
secret
remember
layers
some
I
of
think
these.
just went up today.
Okay, I remember vaguely seeing the like Warhammer Orcs one.
Yeah,
'Cause,
well, some of them were previewed last week or the week before, but they
Yeah,
just went up for
maybe.
sale today.
Yeah, but like none of these. But yeah, but you are right. Like people are gonna play about about the commander decks,
Mhm.
and then next week there's previews,
Right.
and they know everyone's just gonna like shift to like preview season.
Yep.
And then it doesn't matter anymore.
You still have, angry customers, but at least the Bob puts the pitchfork down while we get shiny new cards.
Yeah, and like you have for a while when you've made something crappy, you have usually made your players whole.
Right.
So people are just gonna expect that, and it's gonna be good. Did you see this Thoughtseize?
I did not. I didn't. Today was my first day back at work. I didn't have
Oh.
a ton of time to spend on the internet today.
Okay, I love the fact that you're like, yeah, I didn't have a chance to look at Magic stuff. I just got back to work, so I couldn't actually like goof off. What about work? That's when I goof off and look at Magic cards. Good, solid job.
Well,
solid
I
job.
mean, I'm paid for performance, so if I'm looking at Magic
if you're
cards,
goofing off, it's
that's
your
my
own fight.
choice. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there is in the who is this? Junji Ito collection. They have a new Thoughtseize.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's cool or not. It's weird. It is very weird. But again, remember when we were like, oh yeah, like
Puzzle
piece Thoughtseize.
Yep.
Best Thoughtseize. So they've printed like 3 versions of Thoughtseize since then.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, yeah, can't win. The dream is dead.
Yep. Can't ever win.
Can't ever win. But yeah, so
So good news
Yeah.
though.
oh, what is the good news?
Got an email. Our commander decks are coming.
Yay!
So it shouldn't be too much longer till we well, I guess
Get
I don't
crooked
even know
cards.
if I'm going to open them up and see what they're like.
Yeah, neither do I. Because you said like you said one like sold for or pre-selling for $250 on eBay or something.
Not just one. That's kind of the going rate over the weekend was $250.
Nice.
Yep. So that was a decent investment.
Yeah, I can take that.
Yep.
Doubled my money. Yeah, buddy.
Yep.
I do. Have you seen there's the weirdest pets in the multiverse?
I saw the
They've
name
got-
of it. I don't remember what was in it though.
They got a laboratory maniac holding like a weird bald goat thing. Citrus supplier holding a poodle that has like a leg bone with a foot still attached to it in its mouth.
Oh.
A beast whisperer, a vizier of the menagerie, and a wood elves. But like the lab maniac's pretty neat.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if you buy these, are they gonna like not be garbage?
I have no idea anymore.
Like you can't possibly know.
Yeah.
And gosh, like they also have another like foil version of Fabled Passage. They've printed so many Fabled Passages recently.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And like if you were like, oh man, the old border like love your game store one, that's the one to get. Now it's like, well, you could get the totally spaced out Galaxy Foil edition.
I like the
And
old
it's
border one. I bought old
yeah.
border ones.
But you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just like, and again, like what did PK was like, hey, it's not fair to say these fold like these curl like Pringles. These curl top to bottom. They curl like bananas.
Well, so that was one of the things I was going to say when we were, talking about the printer issues and stuff. Is like for the longest time, that's what people were complaining about as far as like quality issues
Mhm.
was curling foils. And
Yeah.
I mean, there's only so much you can do about that because a portion of the curling foils issue is like environmental.
Yeah, so the reason your foils curl is that the foiling is like a plastic sheet
Yeah.
that doesn't expand, and the cardboard will expand and contract based on the humidity.
Yep.
And so when it's humid, they typically will curl towards the foil.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's really, really, really dry, they will curl away from the foil.
Yeah.
Because the plastic bit doesn't move. So I keep my foils from curling. All of my high-end stuff that I care about,
Mm-hmm.
that I have in the safe, I have a little box, a little container that I get from the dollar store of desiccant
Mm-hmm.
that just sucks all the water out of the safe.
Yep.
And none of my foils curl.
Yep.
Because it's dry.
Right.
But like foils curling, they used to not curl as bad as they do now, or they used to take longer.
Yeah, like old border foils typically don't curl. Like I shouldn't say old border foils. The original foils didn't curl as bad as the new ones do.
And so I don't know if it is like they're using different paper that's susceptible.
Oh, they're
like,
definitely
to
using
moisture.
different cardstock. The cardstock has
Yeah,
changed multiple times.
Yeah, but like they're using, whatever they used to use. I don't know, B grade. This
Yeah.
is graded like meat, and now this is like F food, like dog food grade,
Yeah.
like paper. And so like it's just like not as able to like it either is more prone to suck up moisture,
Mm-hmm.
or if it does, it instead of expanding, maybe previous paper expanded up and down.
Yeah.
And maybe they got just ever so imperceptibly fatter.
Yeah.
But these go left to right.
I mean, it might be the ink too. They've changed the ink over the years too. Like maybe older ink did a better job of sealing the paper,
Sealing the card.
than
Yeah, that could be it too.
new ink. I really don't know.
Right? Like this is one of those things that this is 100% a solvable problem.
Mm-hmm.
If you put like an intern on this for a month, you should be able to come back with, this is the cardstock we should use. This is the ink we should use. But the problem is you do that, and the answer you get is it costs us 2 cents more a pack.
Yeah.
Or like a half a cent more a pack. And they're like, dude, we like make like 1 million packs a set. Like we can't eat, half a penny on a pack.
Right.
Right? Like shareholders will murder us, so we can't do that. It's like, what did you find here? Well, we can make a pack a half a cent cheaper if we print it on toilet paper and we just use Sharpies.
Yeah.
And they're like, holy crap, toilet papers and Sharpies? Do it. Done. That wasn't what my job was supposed to be.
That's what
I
it
was
is
supposed
now.
to fix the problem. Oh, you did fix the problem. You figured out how to make us more money.
I mean, like even if the problem just was curling foils, though, like, I mean, that's whatever. We've been dealing with that forever. It's real. I don't think like it's a huge issue. But when you get cards that like are visibly not cut correctly or are missing things that denote them as an actual Magic card, like that's a problem.
Yeah. Like either one, there is no one from Wizards of the Coast proper
Mhm.
who does like quality control.
I mean, maybe not. Maybe Wizards is only R&D, and like Hasbro handles all of the printing distribution.
But like even so, right? Like, but what I mean is like, are they just sending this to the printer and being like, "Hey man, knock these out," and relying on the printer to like do QC?
Maybe.
And the printer like printed for like 5 days, opened 3 packs, and went, "Oh my god, these are effed. We can't reprint all these, can we? No, screw it, they're going out."
Yeah.
Or to just no one crack them, because both scenarios are bad.
Yeah.
Like, I refuse to believe that they like randomly pulled like cases to check, and those cases were fine,
Yeah.
and a bunch of people just got the bad cases. Like, no, like it has to be that they knew this was a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Either they knew and didn't tell anyone, or they do no quality control. Like, you can't go back to this printer. Like, right? Like, you can't.
Well,
But like, if you owned the process, then you would just like have it all in house and it would be fine.
yeah. I mean, that's kind of
Right?
the
Or
thing
you,
that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Like, on the scale that Wizards has things printed, like, I mean, at some point it has to be cheaper just to do it yourself.
yeah, like I understand, like, well, if you outsource it, they're experts and you get economies of scale, but it's like you are the economy of scale.
Right.
It's like you can keep an entire printing apparatus going just on your products. It's not
I
like
mean,
you
they
have
could
to, like,
probably keep an entire printer going just on secret layers.
yeah, like it's not like you have to worry about, oh man, there's gonna be a bunch of downtime.
Yeah.
Right? There's no downtime.
Right.
Right? Like, so yeah, like I don't know, because in my head, if you're like outsourcing it, right, they've got to make money too,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you're not outsourcing it, then they just like you do it on the cheap,
Right.
right? Like if it costs $1 to print a pack, they have to charge you $1.05,
Right.
so they get a nickel, so they can keep the business going, right? But then if you can do it for $1, you save a nickel.
Mm-hmm.
But it might be one of those things that like you can't write into your like quarterly report like eight,
Yeah.
you know,
Bought a
50
warehouse.
million. Yeah. You know, $50 million to like buy like a printing
Yeah.
company and then like put people in it that like care if the cards look like garbage.
Yep. Well, I mean, if Wizards did that, though, they just hire a bunch of interns, so.
This would be true. A bunch of people that love Magic and have ever used a LaserJet printer.
Right.
What is your experience? I have used an inkjet printer. Oh, go on.
Tell me about
so you know
this.
there's ink involved? I do. I've even refilled my own cartridge.
Oh,
He must be our king now.
supervisor.
Supervisor, exactly. So yeah, so I don't know, it is frustrating that they're turning out all this product and they can't make the product good.
Yeah. Or on time. Oh, that was one of the
Yeah.
other things I was going to tell you that didn't make it
Okay.
into the show notes is on time. So the like Magic 30 in Vegas or whatever is coming up soon, right? A couple
Yeah.
weeks.
Mhm.
And all of the like in-person tickets sold out
Yes.
for huge amounts of money that nobody actually wanted to pay. And
Okay.
they also sold like Magic Fest in a box or whatever they called it, Magic 30 in a box.
Okay.
Where you would have like a digital, like you could sign into some digital portal and like be there digitally, and then you got like a gift package with all the swag from the event. Like you could buy the exclusive secret lair that's only available at the event, and like the play mat or whatever else you got in the package. Evidently that was supposed to ship October 14th,
Okay.
and it didn't. And they didn't tell anybody. And when people started questioning it, they deleted the date out of the webpage that used to have the date there.
They do know about the Wayback Machine, right? Like, that's on the internet forever.
Well, evidently, if it's not on their website, it didn't happen. I can't see you. I can't see you.
I'm just imagining just like they just send you a Zoom link and you just zoom into Magic 30. Like they just have like
you're on an iPhone strapped to Maro's head.
That's what I was gonna say. They just have
running around all coked out.
Hey, what's up, Chad? Bro, we making beans, bro? Like just a GoPro strapped to Gavin at a commander table.
Yeah. Like stuck in his beard. There's like scraggle in front of it.
There's just like 3 links. Like there's just like Gavin cam, Maro cam, and Chad cam, and it's just Chad just like counting money. It's like sucker 1, sucker 2, just counting.
He's got one of those casino boxes with the thing you push the money in the slot, and he's just shoving bills in a slot.
Yeah, I'll count this later. It's fine.
Yeah.
But like, I like Magic. There is maybe if it was just like a free Twitch. No, I know myself. If they were just streaming Magic 30 live on Twitch, I would not click that link.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, we'll make you pay for the Twitch link. No, thank you. Like,
yeah, I don't actually know like what you get for your. I think there's like online events, like there's Magic Online events that you get access to that are like specifically part of this. And
I want to play Unbridled Growth, can I? No, you can't. Dang it. Okay, that's pretty wild. They
deleted the delivery date.
Yeah, I did see someone like when the like people were talking about kind of the Warhammer and like the commander deck, the Secret Lair commander deck thing, and someone was like, look, I work in logistics. This is not a supply chain issue.
Yeah.
They have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
Right? And it might just be that like Wizards has like the same 3 printers they used when they made 15 sets a year.
Well,
and now they're making
they still use at least one of them.
But now like they're making 45 sets a year.
Yeah.
And it used to just be that the back of every sheet was exactly the same.
Yeah.
Right? So like now like the back of every sheet isn't the same. There are double face cards and there are special borders. And like the job has gotten harder if you are the printer. And like maybe you would have like a week to like, I don't know, make sure all of your equipment like was calibrated. And now it's like, no, we got to print these Post Malone cards. Go.
Yeah.
Mike, did you draw on all these lands? No, dude, that's how they're supposed to be.
All right. These suckers will buy anything.
Are you sure? Yeah, it's good. Okay. Hit print.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of Magic 30.
Yeah. How about Magic 30?
We know we're late, but James had to spend a week climbing up to the top rope to jump off of it. We're not as young as we used to be.
Yeah.
Had to get a step stool out to get on the turnbuckle.
More than a step stool. I needed a forklift, man.
Slowly tap the elbow. Coming down.
Yeah. And in for a landing.
So, in case you were unaware, in case you've been living under a magical rock, Wizards of the Coast has decided to celebrate Magic's 30th anniversary by reprinting Alpha.
It's beta. It's not alpha.
Oh, sorry, beta.
Yeah.
Reprinting beta with a non-tournament legal back and minus the cards that could be racist or sexist or bothist.
Or gambling.
Or gambling.
Yeah. So yeah, it's
All right.
basically a beta reprint. And it's it's not even like just the racist, sexist stuff though. Like they're not reprinting weakness. Like that wasn't one of the banned cards, was it?
No, like they're not printing like Earthbind.
Yeah, the art was kind of questionable. I think that's what they had said.
Yes, that's the sexist card.
But there's more to that story too. I don't know if you had heard this or not.
I did.
Okay. So we'll circle back to that in a minute here. These things are, like you just said, basically a reprint of beta. They have a black border on the front and a different card back. And the back of the card, I believe, is gold bordered.
I think it is gold border on the back, and it is like a big purpley lotus. Like it is.
I mean, it's kind of pretty.
It is, but I was gonna say it can in no way, shape, or form be confused.
Right.
For a Magic the Gathering card.
Right. Each booster pack is going to have one old border basic land, one old bordered card, a token, a rare, 3 uncommons, 7 commons, and 2 basic lands, which is weird.
I didn't realize they guaranteed you 2 basics.
Yeah. Well, 3 basics, 1 old border and 2 regulars. I mean, it's weird because that's not how they do packs anymore, but that is how Alpha, Beta, Unlimited, Revised was.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of because like no one had a 5,000 count box full of basics that they were like, what am I supposed to do with these?
Right.
Like you needed those cards to play.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't realize that. So one thing that I think is weird, they're reprinting beta, but they're printing them in like the new border.
Yeah.
So they have to print old border cards. Like they should have printed them in the old border and given you a one-off chance for a new border card.
Yeah.
If that like mattered to you. But they did it the opposite way.
For whatever reason.
They were like, you know what? All new borders. You could have some old border. You could have one old border card. So, okay. So, these are non-tournament legal cards.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Because they do not have a magic back on them.
I get 3 basic lands in my 15 card pack.
You do. They did make one change, though. Aside from, like, the naughty bits being removed.
Okay.
They put 2 of each dual land on the rare sheet.
Okay, to increase the supply.
Yeah, you get an extra high chance of pulling a dual land.
Okay,
I mean, it could be a plateau, but...
Hey now, plateaus need love too. What art is it? Is it the...
I believe it's the Eternal...
Revised art?
No. Well, no.
Oh, is it like the...
I think it's the Magic Online art.
Oh.
I think. I'd have to go back and check.
So, these are proxies.
Well, so do you want to talk about the art real quick while we're talking about art?
Sure, we can talk about the art real quick. Is it
Quentin Hoover?
Quentin Hoover, yes.
Is a very well-known magic artist who did Vesuvian Doppelganger, the original Regeneration, a bunch of very like iconic old school magic art. His signatures are worth a ton because he didn't sign cards and also is no longer with us.
Yes.
That's why a lot of that old, very iconic art isn't widely used anymore because it belongs to the estate. I saw a Twitter exchange, I think it was Twitter, might have been Reddit, where the family that is in control of the estate doesn't know anything about Wizards using the artwork from those original cards in this product.
Yes. Yes, they were like, so I had seen the exchange too, and apparently some point recently in the last few years, they tried to buy the rights for the art
Yeah.
from the estate, and the estate said, "Nah, we're good." And now they're just the um printing the cards with his art.
Yeah.
And someone's like, "Well, do you like do they know they don't have the rights?" He's like, "They tried to buy it off of us, so I would assume
That they know.
that they know." And so like this seems like a pretty easy case
Yeah.
of like, and it might be one of those things where they've decided it would be cheaper to like the whole like ask
Yeah.
ask for
Ask
forgiveness,
Yeah.
not permission, and just like, fine, we'll pay whatever settlement. It'll be cheaper
Mhm.
than paying
Yeah.
for the actual rights of these cards.
There was also a couple other cards where they like cropped the art strangely. Did you hear about that?
Soul Ring, like they cut like.
Well, Soul Ring they
part
did
of
on purpose. There's two different versions of Soul Ring in this set. There's a common version and an uncommon version, because Soul Ring wasn't uncommon.
Okay.
The uncommon version has the original art, and the common version has like a super zoomed in version of the art.
Yeah, and the super zoomed in version doesn't have the whole artist signature on it. Like they cut part of the artist signature off.
That's happened with a couple different cards, and I actually think they're all Mark Poole cards. So I don't know like what that's all about. But Birds of Paradise is missing the signature, and Ancestral Recall has been cropped strangely and is missing part of the signature.
Weird.
Yeah. I don't know. Like maybe that's just the way that the original art was done. Like it wasn't in the correct like size.
Aspect ratio.
Yeah. Because they've changed the size of the art box over the years too.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
But like, that's really weird if they just were like, YOLO. We're just gonna like print these, and if they sue, they sue. Who cares?
Yeah.
Oh man, I didn't realize he did Nettling Imp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
anything that's that cool, like heavy line work was all. And Earthbind that you were talking about earlier was him.
Yeah. Yeah, so Earthbind is like it's funny, that card. So he also did the Gypsies or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Prodish Gypsies or whatever they're called. And on Scryfall, when you go to it, it's like, this card does not meet Magic Community standards.
Yeah.
View anyway? I was like, what card is it? And it's like, oh, Prodish Gypsies. And Preacher, like, yeah, like very distinct style.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and like I feel like you kind of have to have his cards.
Yeah.
If you're gonna redo this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it is weird how they've done things. Like cutting off part of the name of like the artist, right? Brian Gottlieb was like, it just shows that no one cared.
Yeah.
Enough when they were doing the product. That they just were like crop, and it's like, well, half the name's there. And they're like,
yeah,
like don't care. So interesting. All right.
Yep.
So we've got cards of sketchy art legality
mm-hmm.
that are not legal in any Magic the Gathering format.
Well, so that's not 100% true. They're not legal for sanctioned play.
Well, I was going to say, they're not legal, but what I mean by they're not legal in any format is you can't play them in sanctioned play.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where the Commander people are rewriting the rules of what a legal Commander card is.
Okay. I hadn't heard that. I saw that they made a statement just clarifying that these are not legal, but I had not seen anything about them rewriting rules.
So basically, I saw something where like the current rules are the card has to have a magic back.
Okay.
Or be like a double face card.
Mm-hmm.
Or something. And so now they're having to change it to account for this card so there's no ambiguity.
Gotcha.
So someone can't say like, oh, it does have a magic back. It says magic right on the back.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, these are proxies effectively. So,
Mhm.
as we discussed, you are quite the wizard of proxies.
Mhm.
So these should be cheap, right? Like they shouldn't cost too much for just some proxies.
Well, I mean, we talked a little while ago about, some wild back of napkin cost what it should cost to produce a magic pack, right? Obviously, it's less than $4 because that's what they sell a pack retail for.
Yeah. And it's probably less than the like $3 they sell them wholesale for.
Yep.
Or $2.50 or whatever.
Yep.
So yeah, like 50 cents, $1.
Something.
And there's zero R&D in this set.
Right. It's all already been done.
That was done 30 years ago.
Yep. So
yeah.
This product, you can't, unless somebody cracks open a box of this, you can't buy single booster packs. They're not available as single booster packs. You have to buy them in a chunk of 4.
Yes.
And 4 of these booster packs will cost $1,000.
$1,000.
Yeah.
For context, I am thinking about upgrading my TV upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
I found a lovely Sony 55-inch 4K 120 hertz television.
Mm-hmm.
It will play my video games quite nicely. It is 1,000 American dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And it does not contain 12 basic lands. 12 basic lands.
Well, so I hopped on TCG Player while I was writing this episode. And are you aware that you can buy an admittedly beat up piece of unlimited power for not a whole lot more than $1,000?
I was unaware.
Yep. Whatever the cheap box is, you can get like a cheap
Pearl
beat up unlimited box for $1,800, $2,000. I mean, like a beat up one, damaged or whatever.
Yeah.
You can also buy collector's edition power for less than $1,000.
For a Mox Pearl collector's edition is $850.
Yep. I saw Time Walks, I think, for right around $800.
Yeah, so like,
and those are 30 years old.
Yeah.
They came out like when this set was out.
Did they?
Shortly after, yeah. They came out. They were out before I got into the game in 94.
Okay. Yeah, like you can buy one right now from Near Mint Collector's Edition Pearl is like $900.
Yep.
So
while
go ahead. Near Mint one for $750.
There you go.
With 99-cent shipping. No. No. I pay you $759 for a Mox Pearl.
You're not putting a stamp on it.
Yeah, do not charge me $1 shipping.
Yeah.
No. Anyway.
While we're on the topic of collector's edition, just for people that might not know what collector's edition or international edition was, it was basically a fat pack. It was a fat pack box that had one of every card from beta, in black border with square corners and gold border on the backs, and then a brick of lands, and the MSRP was $50.
A collector's edition Volk, market price is $500.
So you could get 2 volcanic islands from collector's edition for the cost of your 4 garbage rares you're going to open of this product.
You know what's funny? The Mox Pearls went down around the time this product was released.
Yeah.
Volcanic Islands went up by $20.
Really?
Yeah, on like October 5th, they went from $485 to $505 is like the market price.
Yeah.
It might just be that they're one got bought.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So yeah, I have a question for you. If you are somebody who is interested in vintage Magic for whatever reason, financial investment, playing the game, whatever. What do you think you're gonna get more gains out of, or what do you think is going to be a better investment? A 4-pack of this product, or a piece of actual unlimited 30-year-old power?
Real unlimited 30-year-old power, probably.
Or a piece of collector's edition power, or 2 pieces, two collector's edition dual lands.
I mean, probably so the issue is well, an unlimited pearl is still $2,500
For a beat up one?
For a heavy played one. Maybe someone pounced on your $1,800
maybe
one. So I'm looking at unlimited, second edition unlimited, $2,500, the cheapest one. But neither here nor there.
Yeah.
The only thing I worry about is, what if this just becomes what they do?
Well, I mean, that's totally like going to be. If
Like,
you think this is the last of this kind of product that we're getting, I'm going to call you insane.
I don't.
Yeah.
So, like, on one hand, like, it makes more sense if you were gonna plop down $1,000 for a card, right? It makes more sense for you to plop down that $1,000 on like an actual volcanic island, or, well, when I was trading my nickels, I got a Bayou and a Trop for $800, and they were like not near mint, but they were like very good.
Yeah.
From Card Kingdom, which like grades like terrible people.
Right.
They like very strict. Right. So, like, it makes more sense to buy cards that are actually like playable than to buy cards to buy 4 packs and hope you crack something good, because these packs are gonna have the wildest swings ever. We've talked about other sealed products being like, oh, like, like, oh, hey, you open Streets Kamigawa. It's like, well, like, if you open a Fable of the Mirror Breaker or a Wandering Emperor, congratulations, you made money on your pack.
Right.
If you opened literally any other rare or mythic, you lost money.
Right.
Like, if you have to probably open one of like 10 cards to like even stand a chance of breaking even.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, there's
like,
so many garbage rares in beta. Like,
yeah, that
I mean,
no
you
one
open
wants.
Veteran Bodyguard or Thought Lace or Righteousness, Reverse Damage. You know what I mean? Like, those cards are effectively worthless. And there's way more of them than there are dual lands or power.
But people don't think that way. Like, this is the whole like Tolarian Community College, like, buy singles, not packs.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you're gonna spend $1,000 and then not get what you want, like, what are we doing?
Have you seen the calculator?
I have not seen the calculator.
There was somebody, I don't remember where I saw it, somebody on the internet made the calculator where you can plug in how many packs you want to open, and it will like tally for you how many pieces of power you have opened, how many dual lands you've opened, how many packs it was, and how much money you spent. And I want to say it worked out to about $4,000 before like the numbers were on your side for hitting a piece of power.
Oh. So you should just buy that, like, pearl that you've always wanted. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. All right. You open, you spend $1,000, and I just brought up all the rares from beta.
Mhm.
You could open Ancestral Recall,
You could.
or you could open Animate Wall.
Yep.
You could open Ankh of Mishra.
Ooh, Dingus Egg.
What is this one? I can't even read this one. Oh, Aspect of Wolf.
Ooh, that was a rare.
Enchanted creature gets +X+Y, where X is the number of forests you control rounded down, and Y is half the number of forests you control. Oh, sorry. X is half the number of forests you control rounded down, and Y is half the number of forests you control rounded up.
Yeah.
It's a card and a math problem. You could get what is this? Oh, here's Chaos Lace.
Mm-hmm.
What does it even do? Target spell becomes red.
Yep, that's what it does.
Sick. You could open Cockatrace.
Yeah, that was a rare.
You could open Blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Wait for an aura that target creature gains +1/+1 until end of turn. Enchanted creature gains +1/+1 until end of turn. Okay. It doesn't even do anything until you've paid 3 mana for it. Right? And like we're like, we're like picking the bad ones. They're all the bad one.
Yeah. Like
Right,
I said,
like,
Veteran Bodyguard, Personal Incarnation,
Force of Nature.
yeah, Lord of the Pit.
Elvis Archers.
Yeah. Savannah
Drain
Lion.
Power. Homestead.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Homestead's an awful one. Or no, Farmstead is what I was thinking of.
No, Farmstead. Yes,
Yeah.
this is Farmstead. White. Enchant land. Target land's controller gains 1 life each upkeep if white is spent. Target land still generates mana as usual.
Yep.
Gaia's Liege.
Mm-hmm.
Fungasaur.
Sedge Troll.
Sedge Troll. Helm of
Shatzuk.
Shatzuk, whatever. Right? Like, it is wild that they are charging $1,000 for like a hit of nostalgia
And garbage.
that then you can't use.
Right.
They're just like, no, you can't use this.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So,
and like,
who do you think this product is for?
the internet seems to think it is for like the investor class.
Okay. I don't know what internet you're looking at, but the investor class internet that I look at and
Hates it.
Oh yes, every single one of them.
Like maybe it's for people that have poor impulse control and gambling issues.
Yeah.
Like,
in which case, like, that's an awful bad look, Wizards, if you're preying on people with gambling addictions.
Like, so I wasn't following oh gosh. Like, I hadn't like read like the alpha investments, like, or watched his video or whatever. But like there's a feeling like Saffron Olive, Pleasant Kenobi, other people, random folks on Twitter that are like, oh, like this is like investors are gonna buy this to sit on this product because look, the collector's edition stuff that's really old has gone up in value, so this might as well.
Well, like,
but like
that was kind of the point I was making, comparing 4 booster packs of this, which you're not guaranteed any particular card, to a piece of power from collector's edition or a beat up actual piece of power. If
like,
you're a collector, that's what you're buying. You're not buying this.
No, I agree. Like there is significantly too much risk associated with it. Like,
yeah.
If you have a business model that is you buy Magic cards and sell them later for a profit,
Mm-hmm.
you can't spend $1,000 and maybe get $200 worth of stuff.
Or maybe get 4 laces.
Like it just in terms of like who wants these singles?
I have no idea. They're proxies. They are
Yeah, but
proxies. They're not legal in Commander. They're not legal in any sanctioned tournament. They are not real Magic cards, like per Wizard's
yeah.
definition of a Magic card.
So like that's what I mean. Like normally we say like okay, like no one really wants the fill in the blank. The unset cards, right?
Mhm.
All the unset cards before Infinity, worthless because they're not playable anywhere. The whole value of that set is the land slot,
Mhm.
right? Okay, so the lands are all $4 because you get a land, and
It's the price
the
of your
person who
pack.
got the land just wants to trade it for the price of their pack.
Yep.
Right? There's nothing in here really outside of the power that people are gonna be like, I'm willing to pay $250 for.
Right.
Right? Especially like if you look at your commander play group and go like, hey, so I can spend $250 on a proxy dual land from Wizards of the Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Or I can spend 25 cents and proxy one myself.
Yeah. The cost of a sheet of paper.
Yeah, but like I will go print, without a magic back because
Yeah.
I don't want to do like I don't want to counterfeit cards, but I'll get cards printed that look nice.
Mm-hmm.
Can we just all agree that like if we're cool with me playing with these proxies over here from Wizards,
Right.
you should be cool with me playing with these other cards that are still proxies but are 1,000th the cost.
Right.
Right? Like it doesn't do you guys any good if I spend $250 on this.
Mm-hmm. It's not doing anybody any good.
Well, Chad.
Well, sure.
Bro.
Yeah. So many beans in this product.
Bro, give me even less money. Bro, give me less value.
Yep.
Like, so there is this like feeling that I've seen. Maybe I've not followed it and like seen like now the backlash after the initial announcement, which I thought was pretty backlashy to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there's this feeling that everyone's just like, yeah, it's gonna sell out. Like,
I don't know. I don't know who's buying it.
I don't know either.
I have
like,
so I'm in like a bunch of different finance groups. I'm in
Mhm.
finance groups on Reddit. I follow finance guys on YouTube. I'm in a couple finance like Discords. I follow a ton of finance stuff, and nobody wants this.
I mean, this could be good that no one wants it, right? Like, if now what I think's gonna happen is like, regardless of how many get sold,
Mhm.
WOTC's gonna say it sold out.
Oh, sure.
Like, oh man, we could barely keep up with demand. We're gonna have
Well,
to print these cards sideways.
Well, no. Yeah. Well, I mean, part of that, they're already setting themselves up to do this because they said there's a limited number of these being printed.
Yes.
And it's very low. Like they said right on the announcement stream that the number printed is very low. So they're already setting up to say, oh, well, it sold so well, we sold out. Because they've already said that we're not printing hardly any of it.
And by setting the amount low, you guarantee that it sells out.
Right.
And by coming out from the meeting like, oh man, there's not a lot of these.
Yep.
Again, people with impulse control.
Yep.
Gambling issues. Severe cases of FOMO.
Yep.
Like, oh my god, I gotta buy. I gotta get it.
Yep.
I gotta get it because, what if I miss out? And it's like, if you're gonna spend $1,000, right? Like, spend it on a card. If you're gonna spend $1,000 on Magic cards, you could like make a bunch of, I don't know, power level 7, which is every commander deck's power level 7 commander decks,
Mhm.
right? Or like buy the dual lands you need for like your pet deck.
Right.
Like buy any number of Pioneer decks,
Oh yeah.
right? Like pick a number, like you can buy like Pioneer decks. You could just buy the entire Pauper format.
Basically.
Like what is the like? There's so much more you can do with $1,000 than buy, and like we're thinking about this like on one hand we're thinking about this like it's a normal product in that we're like, oh, like there's gonna be like a secondary market for it. It could just be an unproduct.
Yeah.
Where like it could be like unstable or unglued, that like those cards are all worth nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like you could spend $1,000 and open $8 worth of stuff.
Yep.
Right? If your friend told you, hey man, I'm gonna go down to I got this crisp $1,000 bill. I don't know whose face is on the 1,000, but I got a crisp $1,000 bill.
Bezos.
Right? It's just Bezos. Bezos and Elon high-fiving.
That's right.
Right? So I got this crisp $1,000 bill, and I'm gonna go down to the 7-Eleven, and I'm gonna buy $1,000 worth of scratch-off tickets. You would choke them out before they got to the door.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be like, "What are you doing? We could just burn the money, and it would like, at least produce heat."
Mm-hmm.
And they could be like, "Well, I could just burn the entire stack of scratch-offs. It makes more heat." No, right? You wouldn't let them do that. Right? This is, and you probably get a better return on your investment with $1,000 worth of scratch-off tickets than you do.
I would venture to guess that you would.
Than you might hear. So like, I worry that like you're just gonna have people where there's no, where it just doesn't do anything. So. The $1,000 bill was discontinued in 1969.
Oh, I didn't think
So
there actually was one.
If they did, so the $1,000 bill had who is it on it? It featured Alexander Hamilton on the front. And we had a $500 bill too.
Oh.
That one had William McKinley on the front. And then we had a 5,000 and a 10,000. There you go.
Had no idea.
The 5,000 was recalled in 1969 due to fierce criminals using them for money laundering activities.
Alrighty then.
There you go. So we learned something.
Yeah.
But right, like you would not let someone do that.
Right.
I mean, buying $1,000 worth of like sealed product is a crapshoot now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I give like, you know, but like at least you've mitigated your risk over what is that, 360 packs?
Yeah.
Right? Like your packs have to like be worth $3 each for you to break even.
Yeah.
Right? You're asking each of your packs to be worth $250.
Whew. That's a tall
right?
ask.
Like when like Raging River or
Two-headed giant of 4 he's.
I was gonna say Royal Assassin, but
Sure.
Royal Assassin's sick. Righteousness,
Mm-hmm.
which I think just got like reprinted recently.
Yeah, I think it's a common now.
Yeah.
So Savannah Lion.
Yeah, like Timberwolves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was like, who is
Orcish
this guy?
Artillery.
Yeah, I'd never seen the two-headed giant of what's it called before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what is this card? And then I was like, oh, that's what he literally just said. Web. Right? Like
Rocket launcher.
Willow of the Wisp.
Yeah. That's a banger.
That is. Volcanic Eruption.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it is Sunglasses of Urza. Like, there's just so much, like, you can miss so hard,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, don't do it.
No,
I think
please
if you
don't.
like, if like you can, if like you decide that you want to play like CDH with your friends, just get together and like proxy all of your decks for like $10. Have them sent from China with like a non-magic back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it just like, I don't know, it says like Bob's Commander deck on the back, and then like, especially if your name's not Bob, even better. Um, and then just like play and have fun with your fake cards,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I am glad to hear that the finance side of the internet is like, this is garbage.
Yes.
We don't want it, because hopefully Wizards printed their small amount, but had in their head they were gonna sell. I bet you they were thinking, would you think they would print like 10,000?
I honestly don't know what the number is. I
Okay.
can't fathom there being that many people interested in this product.
But think about, gosh, the Double Masters collector boosters that were $100.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We were like, who's paying $100 for this collector booster?
There's a
People
big
did.
difference between $100 and $1,000.
Oh, no,
Like,
absolutely.
think about
but
anybody that you have ever played a game against in our local game store. Okay, just room full of those people.
I was going to say, if you ask them the same question, they would say you and I would be the only people that they could even imagine spending $1,000 on.
So what I was gonna say is, how many of those people could you realistically see buying $100 booster pack of Double Masters VIP? Some number of them. Like, I can
Some
think
number
of
that would probably regret it.
Sure, but like I
Yeah,
can
they would
visualize
Mm-hmm.
maybe a dozen of those people might be interested in buying a booster pack of that product. If you took all of those same people and put them in a room with $1,000 Magic 30, I can't think of any of them that would be interested in that product.
Probably not. But again, like the thing that, like, you know, I quote unquote worry about is like the person that that like just makes a dumb decision.
Yeah.
And it's out of, and I know it's their fault or whatever,
right, but
like
that one person that makes a dumb decision isn't going to buy, like, you're not going to sell 10,000 of these to random person that makes a dumb decision.
what what about the idea of, well, I can't spend, so our room full of people,
Yeah.
right? What if I bought the $1,000 thing and then broke it into, sold the packs for $300 a pop? Right, then you might get some people
Yeah, it's a
that are
little bit
like,
more doable.
right, that are like, oh yeah, I'll throw away a Switch.
Or 3 booster boxes, or throw away the money I was going to spend on the next 3 set releases.
Yeah. Right, like that is the, like the, I'm gonna buy, you know, I'll spend $300.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't bring myself to do that. Like, again, talking about my TV, I'm like, is this a good use of money? Probably not. My TV still turns on.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of money. I don't, and like $300 is like the same way. Like, oh man, that's a lot of, I don't want to just randomly spend $300.
Yeah.
Right. Right, which has made some of our recent set releases like, crap, why do they print all of these like busted lands at rare?
Yeah.
Dang it, why are all these lands $12 a piece? I need like 10 of them.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, like I hope that, what I hope happens, well, what I would hope happens is Wizards sells very few of them and announces like, yeah, product was a flop. Our bad. We're not going to do this anymore.
Well,
We've heard the people.
I think that's
not gonna
unrealistic.
like, I mean, that's what I think may actually happen is they say that internally,
Yeah.
and then they tell us that it sold out and it was an amazing success.
Oh, I'm sure no matter what happens, it's going to be an
Oh, yeah.
amazing success that sells out.
Yeah, but like, and again, you can control that by, you know, how many you printed,
Right.
right? But it's also scary that it is the closest they've got up to the reserve list line.
Yeah.
And as much as, like, you know, we talk about reprints driving down values of cards, and they do, like, there's always going to be like a premium on the older cards.
Mm-hmm.
But like, how much is I'm trying to think here, Imperial Recruiter?
Oh yeah, from Portal 3 Kingdoms.
Yeah. So that used to be like the poster child. Okay. So market price is 173. Now it has been printed 3 times
Yeah.
since Imperial Recruiter was like $600.
Mm-hmm.
So right, like, oh, it was 260 a year ago. But yeah, so I mean, it's gone down.
Yeah.
I think it's also like there are so few of them sold. It's just whatever the last price was. The last one that sold, that was the market price.
Right.
But like that is, you know, scary if you've bought a bunch of cards.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, though, like I don't think that an Underground Sea is going to ever be $100 ever again.
No, definitely not.
Like an unlimited Underground Sea, like it almost doesn't matter how many of them they print.
I mean, I don't
Like,
think a revised Underground Sea will ever be $100 again.
yeah, so revised, yeah. But my point being, like, I don't think that like they could like break the reserve list and then like lower the price of the old reserve list cards.
Well, look at Force of Will.
God, yeah.
Force of Will's not even reserved list. Was an uncommon in a set that they printed way too much of. Has been reprinted 4 times.
I am looking at
and is still $100.
5 times, soon to be 6, with 3 different versions.
Yeah.
And it is the low is 81, the market price is 110. It was 110 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It has been $100 for literally 7 years.
Yep.
No matter how, now they printed it Mythic, but it is,
Well, right, but
I think
they're not going to reprint dual lands at common
or rare. Like they'd just be Mythics.
Yeah.
Even the Judge Foil Force of Will is still $470.
Yeah.
I mean, now it was like 700 at one point, but it's like 400.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I thought of someone who would buy $1,000 pack.
Who?
I can't remember his name, but years ago he played foiled out blue white Miracles Control with 4 Force of Wills, and on a whim bought a Library of Alexandria so he could have the artist sign it at a GP. There's our one.
There's the one.
There's the one. You know who I'm talking about. I can't think of his name.
Yeah, he didn't play at our store, though. He played at the other store.
No, he played at our store.
Did he?
Yeah, like I remember playing with him like one of the first times I played Legacy.
No. I thought he played at NARF.
No. He played at ours. Maybe he played at both, but he played at ours. For sure. This was clear back at the like across from the high school.
Yeah.
Days. Yes. Many, many moons ago. But still, like, yeah, like these cards aren't gonna get like super cheaper. And it like Tarmogoyf didn't get cheaper because they printed it a whole bunch.
No, it got cheaper because it's not good anymore.
Exactly. So like what happened with Tarmogoyf is they would print Tarmogoyf and so you'd open one.
Mhm.
Right? And you're like, well, I have one. I guess I need to get the other three.
Right.
Right? And oh, they'll be a little bit cheaper here, so I can grab them. Right? And so like you would like as you would put more supply out, you would increase demand.
Mhm.
Because people would get like the first one.
Right.
And they're like, oh well, I guess I need to get the rest. And so like Tarmogoyf never got cheaper. And like as soon as someone opens a scrubland, right, that they could actually play,
Right.
right? If Wizards was like YOLO, no reserve list anymore, right? What happens then is like, well, I guess I need the Underground Sea
Mm-hmm.
and the Tundra for my Esper deck because I already have the one,
Right.
and now they're gonna start looking for that when they were just happy with like I don't know, tap dual land before.
Yeah.
Right? They were like, whatever, Scoured Barrens, you're doing it. And then they got to change their Scoured Barrens to a Scrubland. I'm like, oh.
Oh, yeah. That's the stuff. Yeah.
I mean, the closest we've come is like the fetch lands.
Mm-hmm.
But like that took a standard set printing and 2 or 3
Supplemental
other
reprintings.
printings.
Yeah.
To get them to where they're like, instead of like the most expensive ones being $80, they're like 50, 40.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But like even those though, think about the sheer quantity of Modern Horizons 2 that was opened.
Yeah. So right now, okay, you can buy a Scalding Tarn Modern Horizons 2 for $20. A Zendikar 1 is 25, and they used to be 80.
Mm-hmm.
So they were able to get them down pretty substantially.
Think about the quantity of Modern Horizons that was opened though. Like
yeah.
every
Tons
card in
and
that
tons and
set
tons.
is a banger.
Yeah. Like you couldn't open a bad card in that set.
Yeah. Like the value has to, like when you have a product like that, the value gets distributed. So you can't have Urza's Sagas and Ragavans and Pitch Elementals and an expensive rare slot.
Yeah. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I don't think we have to worry about them like printing like actual playable like reserve list cards.
I definitely
like,
see more of this product though.
Oh yeah. Like could you see them just like
Urza's Block remastered. I'm calling it. I have a feeling that's what's coming next is Urza's Block remastered.
What about like I guess but other than a handful of cards, you wouldn't have to like weird back them.
Well,
would
you really only had to weird back the reserve list cards in this product. Most of beta's not reserved.
Fair. Yeah, I was gonna say, I wonder if you could like, I guess you couldn't do it for like draft. Not that anyone's drafting this.
Well, I mean, I can't imagine why they would put 3 basic lands in every pack if they weren't intending it to be like a beta draft experience. Why on earth would you put 3 non-legal basic lands you can't even use?
Well, we want it to be like opening a beta pack 30 years ago. No.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
No.
So, but you're right. I could definitely see going forward where, you know, when did Arabian Nights come out? Like they could
93.
do the 30th they could do the 30th anniversary of Arabian Nights.
Yeah.
Right, and then just like weird back it. They could just like pick the iconic sets.
And they could use the original Arabian Nights back. The pink one.
They're never. Oh yeah, the one like where we almost didn't get Magic as we know it.
Yeah. And keep that
Yeah,
mountain at rare.
yeah, but they could do that exactly, and then
Yeah, Legends,
yeah,
Dark, Antiquities. Or
I think
do
they'd have
like a
to.
whole compilation, early Magic expansions.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think anyone's like, yo, you know what we need? You know what nostalgia I want? Opening dark packs.
I mean, you can still buy Dark packs pretty cheap.
Yeah. So
Comparatively cheap, I should say.
yeah, I mean, is this just like people wanting like do they think people want the experience of opening a pack, or is it just like these cost $0?
Mm-hmm.
The first one we sell probably pays for all of the ones we printed.
100%.
The second one we sell is profit.
Yep.
And like
With the
as
quantity of what I'm imagining this is being printed in, it would not surprise me at all if Wizards was like, hey, printer company that we use, we're thinking of doing this product. Can you run me some test samples? And they just packaged them up and here, $1,000 a piece.
so you're feeling like they printed hardly any of these.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I'm gonna guess a couple thousand.
Okay. I thought 10,000 because I was trying to do the math in my head. Like 10,000 gets you $10 million. Is that right? I think. Yes.
Yeah.
10,000 gets you $10 million. So sweet. Hey, we need a way to make $10,000 this quarter. Do I? $1,000 packs. Go on.
Yeah. Well, and like that's kind of why I think that this isn't the last we're going to see of this. If you follow like Hasbro's investor statements or investor conferences or whatever, like Hasbro's been killing it on the back of Wizards of the Coast. Like Wizards of the Coast is carrying the company. And they said like 3 years ago that in 5 years they wanted to, hit whatever target, and they hit that target 2 years early.
Yeah, it was like doubling the profits or something.
Yeah, something like that. And they, in the latest investor statement, they said they want to increase profits an additional 50% over the next 3 years, which is like absolutely unheard of.
Yeah, like basically
companies
you're tripling
can't.
your profits.
Yeah, companies don't come out and say, "Hey, this is what we're planning to do," because like they get laughed out of the room. Like that is a completely unrealistic expectation for any company.
There's the concept. There's what is it? UPod. Under promise, over deliver.
Yeah.
That makes the market happy.
Yeah.
But if you over promise and under deliver, you get annihilated.
Yes.
And I mean, they moved the guy who was in charge of Wizards to be the CEO of all of Hasbro.
Yeah.
They're like, this is the one guy who makes us money.
Right.
We'll let him run the whole thing. And he's like, Transformers in our Magic cards.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that is going to buy some Transformer Magic cards.
Oh,
but
probably.
Probably.
But like you look at the things that Wizards has been doing over the last, all of the things we've been complaining about for years at this point, to make whatever goal that they had. And this next goal is substantially more than that previous goal was.
Like
over the same time frame. Like what are they going to have to do to meet that goal?
I said they can't release any more secret layers.
I don't know how they could do any more than they're already doing.
Yeah, I don't know. Other than like you said, like, maybe they release like more remastered products, or something like that.
Well, I think this is what we're gonna see. This product is what we're gonna see.
Just filling in that gap of like we have to we have to have a set come out that is high dollar that people may want. But I mean, after a certain point, when you don't have to worry about the reserve list stuff, you could just say like, hey, I know that everyone loves IPA Draft. We're just going to do IPA Remastered.
Yeah.
Or you know, whatever, right? They can
It's
just
a
like,
invasion plane shift apocalypse for people who
yes,
don't know.
sorry, right? Um, and so we're just gonna do that because because like the R&D time, the amount of time it takes to make a remastered set is significantly less time
Oh yeah.
than it is to make an actual set. Right? Again, like you can, you know, contract it out to like two people that only get to go to the first floor of your building and be like, "Hey, how about you get rid of the cards that don't do anything in this draft format?" Okay. And they do that, you buy them some pizza and beer,
Mm-hmm.
and then like you have a card file,
Right.
and then you're done.
Yep.
And no big deal. But yeah, you're right. Like they are probably gonna start doing this enough to make things annoying.
I mean, that's their MO. Like every time they've done something that was remotely successful and went over well, they ran it into the ground.
Not even stuff that went over well. So like this kind of started, was it the War of the Spark, like
Oh, I was thinking
Planeswalker?
back way farther than that. Think about like full art lands.
Fair. Well, they were restrained on full art lands for years.
Mm-hmm.
They did full art lands in the unsets. That was their gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
Then they did them in Zendikar, the plane that cared about lands.
Mm-hmm.
Then they did them again in Battle for Zendikar.
Yep.
So like that was 10 years apart.
Well, yeah, but then the floodgates opened. Like, and that was right around the time all these weird changes started happening.
Yeah, well that's what I was
got
gonna say.
like
And
the
then
lottery cards and
yeah, and you like remember they were gonna do the like invocation
mm-hmm.
expeditions in
Yep.
every set.
Yep.
And then they went so hard so fast they printed all the cards that people wanted and then they ran out of things
Mm-hmm.
and they made them ineligible.
Right.
But neither here nor there. But yeah, I can see where they just kind of take an idea, run it into the ground, and this could be like again like a fourth floor person's idea, right? The marketing people's idea, and they just do the thing
Yep.
until like it stops making money.
The other example I had was old border cards. Like when they started doing things in the retro border, it was super cool at first. I was really excited for Time Spiral Remastered and like the old border stuff. And then they started doing promos in old border. And then there was a special slot in Modern Horizons that was old border. And then there was Secret Lairs that were old border. And now we have like a whole year of promos that are old border, plus old border in this, plus old border in Dominaria Remastered. Like everything's old border now. Does it even matter?
My cube would say yes, but otherwise no.
Well, you know what I mean though? Like they pick something that is popular and then make it so that it's not special anymore.
Yeah, I mean, in their mind, it only needs to be special enough to get people to buy packs.
Yeah.
And then whatever happens in the secondary market, if it's flooded with these kind of cards, that doesn't impact them.
Right.
Because as we've talked about before, like you can just reprint equity.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like we made the cycle of pitch elementals. They're all like the cheap one is $15.
Yeah.
The expensive one is 80. So now when we do Modern Horizons 3, or God forbid we go back to the Modern Masters product, hey, now we can throw the pitch elementals in
right
at Mythic again.
Yep.
And now people have a reason to open these packs.
Yeah. I mean, they don't even have to do that though. They'll just put them on the list in a special slot. Twice the occurrence of a normal list card on the list for whatever is coming up. Return to Lorwyn.
Yeah, but like I guess my point is like they don't even have to worry about like printing stuff out of like reprint equity because they used to be, we can't print the fetch lands too much, right? We got to save them for a special thing because we want people to still want them. And it's like, well, no, you can just, like I said, you could maybe it was in the pre-show. I was like, when are we gonna get like shock triomes?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And they're like, well, like we need a thing to print in Ravnica. Well, we'll make shocklands, but they're triomes.
Yeah. Or bolt
Cool.
lands.
Yeah,
Which is
they
for 3.
cost you 3 life. Okay, fine. Like now we have like now these cards are desirable, and we're gonna need to reprint them at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So, all right, we had talked about not letting the show go too long. We have failed.
Well, let's wrap it up here then. We can continue from here next week.
We have way more stuff
Yep.
that is happening.
Oh,
so, with all of this, I think we have a show.
It's part of a show, at least.
It's part of a show. So, if you are like secretly the one person that is of sound mind that is going to buy the Magic 30th anniversary product, let us know. Get at us on social media. All those links are in the description below. Be like, hey, mine are pre-ordered. Let's go. And I'm like, okay.
Get it in. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Elon.
And if you're looking to support the show, which is probably a better investment than Magic 30, you get more entertainment out of it, I would think. There's 2 ways you can do it. The first is our TCG Player affiliate link, tcg.casualtryhardmtg.com. You're going to buy cards anyway. You might as well use our affiliate link and help the show out. The second is our Patreon, patreon.com/casualtryhardmtg. Patrons get access to our show notes. They get to listen to our pre-show, and you get put on my mailing list for when I do givebacks, which should be coming out soon. So hop on over there, chip in a couple bucks, and help the show out.
Please.
Yeah.
So with that, we'll catch you on the internet.
We'll catch you on the internets.